We're going to do a segment that is called Generic Wrestling Questions. Those of you that have seen my interviews before will know as well. I asked Dan his favorite match, favorite pay-per-view card, such overall card, such as Double or Nothing 2019, for example. Favorite wrestler's entrance team, favorite tag team, and favorite wrestler. Basically, the questions I assume Dan might be asked on social media or in live streams, like when he appeared on Between Two Beards recently and things like that. So now you'll have a place, Dan, to be like, I've answered this. Please go watch this. So, what's
Yeah.
your favorite match of all time?
WrestleMania 18, Rock Hogan.
Why does that one speak to you as a fan?
Because I was a diehard going into it, but that was the match that solidified my love forever.
That's really, really cool. What about your
Yeah.
favorite pay-per-view card?
Favorite pay-per-view card? Um, I don't know if I'm looking at the main event too much on this, but No Way Out 2004 with Eddie winning the belt.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
Because I remember being in that bar watching that, being a high schooler in a bar, watching that, and just absolutely going nuts.
Mm.
Plus, the rest of the card was pretty good too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, was this that same bar that we talked about earlier in this conversation?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, there
Yeah.
were probably two or three different bars I used to go to. From the time I was a teenager to the time when the network came around. But yeah, it must have been the same bar.
That's really, really cool. What about your favorite wrestler's entrance theme of all time?
Favorite theme. Um, it's got to be Steve Austin. Dun
Mm.
dun 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 dun.
I'm going to ask this question. Disturbed version, yay or nay?
Disturbed, yay.
Mm.
Not the
Why
best,
does
but it's a yay.
why does the Steve Austin theme speak to you as a fan?
I mean, did a theme fit a wrestler better than that?
Mm.
I mean, his character, his march, his walk, I should say. The whole aesthetic of Steve Austin from the big match of him just walking down there, or if you remember when the invasion hit, and I think they used
The old
Disturbed,
Stone
the
Cold.
old Stone Cold, but
I wasn't even watching wrestling at that point, and I know what that is. That's how
yeah,
iconic that theme is.
and I mean, I think maybe that was the Disturbed one during
I
then,
think it
but
is,
I don't.
yeah.
But even that, because it had that Stone Cold theme core in the background to it, though, which
Mm,
is still why it gets a big yay for me. Um, and he's coming to the ring and he's talking his smack as he's doing it. I mean, that even when he comes out there on the four wheeler, it just fits.
mm,
Everything fits.
mm. I fully agree. What about your favorite tag team?
It's got to be the New Day. And as a Jim Cornette guy, and this is where I'm gonna interject here really quick because Jim Cornette did not watch the initial days of the New Day. So he's only watching based off of however long he's been reviewing Raw and SmackDown.
Mm,
And yes, the gimmick got a little bit stale there the last couple of years. I think what's going on now is going to be something that really helps it out with the tension between Kofi and Woods. Um, I think, but Cornette looks at it like these are just goofballs being goofballs. He didn't see how it was essentially a death gimmick going into it, and how he didn't watch in 2014 how the fans in Philly, when Woods is on the railing trying to get the fans into it, get them clapping, and they're clapping, but they're chanting "New Day sucks," and that immediately took off.
mm,
And he didn't see how this gimmick that should have gotten all three of them fired. They were like, okay, we'll give you guys a little bit of your own personality to put in, and
mm,
became hands down the best thing in wrestling in 2015, and quite frank, probably 2016 too.
mm. I would
So
agree with that, if I'm honest. And then finally, Dan, the biggest generic question, in my opinion. Who is your favorite overall wrestler?
it's got to be Roman Reigns. I mean, the guy, I can't think of anyone who's had a better run in the last 4 years, and doing it through two different bookers, eh, through Vince McMahon and through Triple H,
Mm.
through, um, did anybody come out more hated? Did anyone start more hated and come out more beloved than that guy?
Mm.
Um, I always thought those early days when people were booing him was wrong.
Mm.
Um, I think we're seeing a little bit of a conscience come into wrestling fans right now. Because do you remember a couple weeks ago on SmackDown, maybe it was like a month ago or whatever, when Tonga Loa is in the ring and the fans in the arena are chanting, "You can't wrestle."
Yes.
And I remember, like, I'm sure if I was in the arena, I'd probably join along too. But maybe it hit something different being at home. And it seemed that Twitter also agreed, and other fan bases agreed, other online platforms agreed, where, hey, Tongaloa had some botches that have been really funny. I don't think we can disagree about that, but saying that he can't wrestle is not cool because he can.
Oh yeah.
And I think,
He wouldn't be signed to WWE if he could wrestle. Come on
and
now.
it's one of those things where, okay, telling John Cena, the top guy on the top show in the top wrestling company, that he can't wrestle is one thing, but doing it to a guy who's not in that position is just wrong.
Mm.
It just felt wrong. I mean, could you imagine? And like, what if somebody did that to Heath Slater?
Mm.
That's probably my favorite jobber of all time because people never give him credit for being as great as he was.
Mm.
But I mean, imagine audiences doing that to him, and it's like
Oh
that's
yeah.
clearly not true. The guy can work.
Oh god, yeah. I see your point 100%. So we're going Roman Reigns for your favorite overall wrestler, though. Yeah,
It's got to be. It's got to be. Yeah.
that's really really cool, Dan.